Thank you.
With this, I want to pass the mic over to the Chair of the Communications. I think you get a few more things to add. And then I believe State Development Committee Chair and BNF Chair also get something for add, and then we will open up if there are any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. Good afternoon. I'm Mina Councillor Fufana, work for the Chairperson for Information Communication. I just want to reiterate on what I worship the mayor door EDC to you all. Of course, these are the challenges we Freetown City Council go to all this while. In as much honor the members of the municipality, then I want to stakeholders there. One for bringing this to a notice. No one self understand say these are the challenges we go through. Despite all what they go through, so yes, still our responsibility for make sure say we man the affairs of the municipality. Because we want to man the affairs of the municipality, and that make we organize this press conference. And this is also the first press conference we don't organize. So we make una self over there, we wanna go out there and make a note to the people then. We lecturate them that these are the challenges. We're ready for provide the service we want, but we will stop by no less the person or by the administration. And this administration here, they charge me the responsibility for make sure say they implement all developments that's in there. We feel safe for happen within the municipality. We your mandates na the municipality na ya as elected officials. Now for make sure say we make policies there where they seek the interests of the people of the municipality. And we don't do anything at all this way, especially when it comes to make sure say we legalize the security groups them where they clean the municipality. Also we come to about for make sure say we clean the cemeteries, the markets, the municipal schools, all that thing that we feel in our responsibility. One thing we bound we all, we want for bring again to our notice. I worship the mayor 6 months about that. And when it comes to the area of the cemeteries, June, before I worship the mayor of the travel to go England, right? I worship the mayor don't sign the check. When I got 54 million for make sure so they clean all the cemeteries within the municipality. The ESO, the Environmental Sanitation Officer, we recently the kind of Freetown City Council will be see the manner at which they be transferred for Kamnaya no be correct at all not. Will be condemned that act they will be reached like conclusion point where they talk to we say we accept them for the sake of peace and for sanity, for many municipality move on smoothly, will be accepted for many kind of for this change to Maya they get a check of 54 million euros as we speak to us. So up till now, we don't make complaint to the chief administrator, when at the head of administration, nothing has been done towards that one day. This has sabotage to the highest degree. And with people, when you talk about Freetown City Council, the first way they come to their mind, either they say I worship the mayor or the councillors there. I witnessed one burial ceremony at Lomble Usami side. One colleague will die. We go for go burial. I feel shame of myself because I did the way my they say, it will look back. Freetown City Council, they take money, they eat it, and all the property when they pay business license, local tax. Yes, still the name for clean the cemeteries for we. I feel shy, I get for walk out of the cemetery. And I come back, I raise the issue to worship the mayor. When we call the gentleman, we say they file to which gun. But we don't pass a policy. We don't pass a policy in this council, we are saying, if the head of department know that the responsibility of the deputy for serving capacity immediately, so you don't go hold development to ransom. We will expect to say, according to the excuse we give, say the file to which gun and deputy day. If we don't make sure say and deputy organize the clean up cemetery within municipality. Likewise also to the tricycle each groups then. Yesterday where they come on Lonely. If you see the pile of Turay Park, the youths man they grumble. They grumble. I get for calm down and go talk to them, say, do with the plate. Not that you know for pay now. We responsibility for make sure say, yes, they pay now. We don't do all what's necessary for make sure say they pay now. But a single individual, by no less a person, the chief administrator, just hold everything to ransom. We've written several letters to stakeholders, developmental partners, for make sure they can now aid for address the issues of Freetown City Council. Yet still, nothing has been done. The most unfortunate side of it all, by virtue of our responsibility, we know so we get a supervising body, we charge responsibility for make sure say any to that within the councils in Sierra Leone for coming immediately as a parent body for address the issues. We not to know less a person and the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. And that person and no less a person at Tambalamina. That gentleman would write series of letters to her. We don't complain to her. The manner to which the chief administrator, the treat in Freetown City Council,
especially we elected officials, we charge with responsibility for make sure say we provide service to the people that we vote we in. We don't make this known to her, yet still nothing has been done. The most shocking one, above all, before this commission of inquiry, whatever way they can make to inquest, invite we now in office say, make we go sit down, we deliberate, we talk about the challenges and difficulties that we will face in Freetown City Council, we the councillors them. When we go there, all of a sudden, we go bring that we notice, and for tell we say, in form a committee of investigation for can investigate about procedural issues, administration, whatever, or procurement issues. So we show shock. We raise the concern, say, Daddy, we would expect say on a local address the challenges and complaints and letters we don't write to you all this while. It's so in so worried you get for travel out of the country, you know, they move follow the debate on but after the commission of inquiry, whatever or investigations, ain't gonna know what for do. So these are some of the challenges we go through in the municipality. We want for Tankuna we can for can grace this press conference. We understand say we the elected officials, we are determined, we are dedicated, we want to deliver service to you. But above all, we have been stopped by no less a person but the chief administrator. So we want to look at and say it is sabotage. Because we are partners towards development. If really central government want low self-deliver, whatever service we will provide, whatever developmental project we will implement within the municipality, now alongside with the regime, they say we'll get a good name. But upon all the cries they will cry, upon all the letters they will write to them, yesterday they cannot aid for can address these issues. So we, if someone look like it is political. It is political. Because you know they happen in all the councils there. Now only in a Freetown City Council. So this now what we go to. One way come now so members of the Fourth Estate, all our political party stakeholders where they are. Senior citizens within the municipality, no one knows say these are the challenges where they go to. Una disseminate the message for me. Because we've held several press conferences. Yet nothing has come out of it. So we don't reach a point now saying we wait for a what will be the outcome of the investigation. Because before this investigation, we don't reach a point where we don't get an ultimatum of 21 days. If the central government fail to address with challenges and complaints they will only make all this while, if nothing comes out of it, we're going to let with no option but for make sure to go peaceful protests, make Freetonians them. We electorate to understand that these are the challenges. A single individual, by no less a person, the whole council, a sitting of 1 million plus people to ransom. Because of an hour for power now it was, I will give the mic to my colleagues and let them express one or two concerns the way they say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say a very good afternoon to all of us. Me and Councillor Sheku, Alhassan, Gibril, Turay. People can call me Councillor IST. I'm the Councillor for Development and Urban Planning Committee at the Freetown City Council. I think say the mayor and my colleague we don't speak. They place an amount of diplomacy in the statement. But like me go openly and vividly say development has been stifled with politics to the highest. You just see from central to local, then take politics for Camputam, especially in Freetown City Council. And I know we'll go for talk a lot of the things that we don't happen with we, but I'll just take one as a case study where we have to do with funding, we come up from the Japanese government again. We call it the Japanese Social Development Fund, JSDF. The Japanese government, in their wisdom and the pity they get for we as a nation, they may come for help we with funding for make them see how best we go benefit from post-Ebola. And this thing don't go on. We get 5 wards now the municipality will benefit 500 million each, of which my ward Okupa now one of the beneficiary wards there, where we don't do a clinic. Since 2020 December, they may suppose for the handover, let the property begin for work for the electorate of this municipality. It will surprise when I say from 2020 December, where we for don't open their clinic here, then the rate Sierra Leone say we dey backward because we get picking them when under 5 then they die. Then people that went not to them born na ya, they not get any beer in ya, then they take them taxpayers' money for KLP. And the Minister of Local Government backed up with the people and waiting na ya, when I encouraged them, the Chief Administrator and the other one them, all this development to ransom since December 2020. Every other thing they don't do na Calabar Town, we na Ubis, Consider Lane, we na Ward 402, Ward 404 Botomuku, and Okupa Ward 48, and Ward 410 Kuntolo community. Then 5 communities they don't benefit. Una go surprise say fundings we are allocated for there we go open them thing there. The minister openly denies it. You know they go there then let them defer the date back. You do take politics and dilute them with development. Whether hospital they don't go bill and Okupa WAF, they not going for saying APC picking and go admit today. No. Now all the Sierra Leonean will get sickness, they will get for treatment at the hospital. But the minister, Ambassador Tambalamina, after council don't go spend money for let them go open the hospital there, they not do it. They make them funds and the way they don't go put for open the hospital there, all go in vain. Then for now for let them go open up and tell the Ministry of Health for let them able to allocate staff then up to now. Now the time of office of Freetown Council they done so. They're not able for go open the hospitals there. We will help people in our various communities then for see how we will try for mitigate and combat infant and maternal mortality in our various communities then. And from the angle and the look of things, when they look at and say, a very, very, very appalling, a very, very bad for let's take development with dilute them with politics. When women they tell the minister say, when the polls are over, politics don't do. Let us think about the electorate. Because we, as Freetown City Council, we must say the welfare of the citizenry is the supreme law. So because we want to give the citizens of this municipality the welfare we due them, and we look at certain set of people, a whole municipality to ransom because of political gains. And wallahi, it was surprising for no say the chief administrator of the Sidona, very boisterous and bogus, they say Abu to first lady. Not to nobody put on her, a Fatima Bio put on her, a first lady put on her, and the thing say it is above the law. It is God in mind for tell elected authorities that say una not to be Muslim. Me not able to una no. Openly. It don't challenge open one naya. And we always hear. Say yes, waiting they talk. Not true. Because we don't only complain for let them transfer this man and give we any other CA we go able for dance to with you. It's like say for them are deaf ears. And above all, we see what thing happen. We not the try for prejudice the commission, we then set there. But we go they complain, now they kind of see the one for can make peace. With somebody we not listen and adhere to the one them we na elected authorities them. We can openly tell and say, if not for councillors or management committee, there would have been no council. You know me forget job. Because if you go to the local government act, now because they elect me, make you can serve as chief administrator. If me they not elect me, you not go serve as chief administrator. But the man not get respect. The leader of the entity now, when the mayor, they don't keep a malice for how many months. You know they talk to you boss when a gross insubordination. You know what for no waiting they happen. Then give you say, make you try for let you implement legal laws way now decisions the way council don't pass when are part of your responsibility. Now you mandate. Where then they get the propensity for let them sack you because You not show any competence in what you do. They say you don't have for there, you implement legal laws we don't pass the council, we don't become prima facie. You know they do it. And when we lay complaint to the people and wait for talk back say yes, they flout the local government act, and then they tell we back say no, because they get the backing of the first lady of the nation and the man in the police here. And as I speak to her now, we get a trip where a colleague for go and go get idea. Now other man country for go Switzerland. The chief administrator say he not go sign DSA for this man for go take in visa na every coast and for let's see that this man go Angola. He say not the sign. Before this colleague here, we get the mayor and another colleague way for go Germany. He say he not the sign am back. Except where the committee where they send her begin for intervene. How you go there now? You are subject to the council. You challenge the council and they ask the mayor for justifying trip of what benefits the trip will get to Freetown. Keke Thomas and they will get mine for ex-president be waiting you to go do in England. No. You don't go get that got this. Neither in the Tambalamina, in your permanent secretary, you don't go get that got there for Aska. But then they capacitate the chief administrator now for get the zest and ask the mayor, so waiting this trip will benefit Freetown. And as my colleagues say, and me start for say, they use diplomatic approach for talk to Freetonians. But some of us will use the radical approach for talk to Freetonians. I want for let the central government and each and every one of us sitting here and the world know say we are elected authorities. We get the power for pull 1,000 manpower from with various words and match the streets of Freetown. We cause unrest now Freetown. We able to do it. But the mayor and he say this. But they go to a point where sometimes we get for differ from the mayor. For pull people in a treat and ready for say we're ready for anything we go come behind that. We're ready for the consequences. We're ready for anything we go happen behind that. Because you know go all the way to ransom because of political indifferences, because of political gains where you want to forget. So we pass the message to Freetonians and the world for let them know say we are more than prepared, we are more than ready, and we're ready for take the bull by the horn. If we complain them, they no idea to them, we go do waiting something necessary or bloody. And we are ready. Politician, you want foot for dinner jail, you want foot dinner do. So we're ready.
Good afternoon, how was she? Good afternoon, colleague. All protocol duly observed. I just want to give Freetonian short update on the tricycle issue. The tricycle boys, when I then sweep the public space at Freetown, if we all be proud of Freetown City today say, now one of the cleanest city in Africa, now people and picking them, now people and papa them, now people and uncle them, or west in the grab 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning for the next kind of job in the it's painful for the people in the do that kind of job in the day. When are we own residents there, are we own family member there, are we own electorates there. 2 months now, they only get their salary. After the last time, we all go attest to that, we see on the news, when there be protests, say, council for pay them their money. Because of them, they get family things there for solve. School be not open. They get for make sure say they fix up things there for them packing and begin go school. The staffs them not be show up after the intervention of our worship the mayor. the demand fit say this no will continue for happen at this kind council. And sabotage to the highest degree. You need for make sure say this protest stop and be calm down. Me the councillor, when at the budget and finance chairperson be there, we'll be able to get one of the staff when at the DCA. He said we attend a dialogue meeting with the Tricycle Boys there. Faithfully on that meeting we promise them. So we will make sure say we clear the areas and then we don't get 2 months backlog, 2 months backlog, or we will pay them. And that's a gentleman promise we will make. We will give the Tricycle Boys them the courage for them continue back the job. A very, very hard when you dey work, they know they pay you. You should get family for take care of. After this agreement, we don't do with them people there. We now all go surprise say we pay them for 1 month and we agree say the August payments will go join with September payments. Up to now as I say now, September already done. 30 days, they not get August pay, September pay, don't join with them. And then people there, they say get home for take care of. They get people them for look after. And this is one of the burning issue when it affects this council and when it slow down the development of this council. Coming to mob tax system, we are for update Freetown about. Now a system where we as a council, we accept them, we pass them to law, we vote on it, we all accept them, including the staff of Freetown City Council. But later, this system can be a system where they block leakages. There comes the battle start. The feds begin at the council. That idea for say, I give you the man notes today, I tell you say pay, give me my hand, all don't stop. The mob tax system make sure say it close off all of the leakages they need. This not be go down well with certain staffs like this council, including the chief administrator. Me as the budget and finance chairperson, recently at someone meeting called all heads of revenue departments like this council and discuss with them saying we need for move on. September is already end and we money in at it plenty. Waiting una as the staff, what una think say we go do. Follow me, make sure say this money within at it come inside. Una go surprise say out of 9 heads of revenue departments, we only get 4 we attend that meeting. The 5 they dodge. NY call, they give excuse. NY call, they give excuse. On that meeting, we agree say we for do a revenue mobilization operation with our port so we can call her normally. The property rate, business license, local tax, we all they go out. We the councillors, we just join up there for complement the effort and install confidence so we electorate them. For let them feel say them for comply and them for pay. Because now all the way them pay, the council will get money for then we can do developments and they want them. From this property rate, when we pass them to law, we get an agreement, say we get a percentage where the return come back now the communities then in the form of development. So that way they deal with community people have the courage. They accept the process and they're ready for comply to the process. But una go surprise now say the staffs they will say we don't take the job na the hand. They sit back na the office, not for go out and make sure say we collect this money. We talk to the people for campaign. We issue out demand notes outside the system not be captured. They all dey draw leg. Anytime you ask them for go out, they go say CAC. CAC. Who is the CA? CA or mayor? Who is the boss of this institution? This now one of the big tussle and challenging things with all development in this council. You meet the head of valuation, where you go say, for them talk to bailiff and other staff there wait for go out and make sure say we property rates, whether we main source of revenue, wait for come inside, we up till now we never collect each 30% of them. Plenty of the money in our streets. In September they don't. When we will collect that money? When you ask them, when you ask the head of the valuation, will tell you say CAC, CAC. And they're not there for South CA, they're there for South Freetown. And we the policy maker, we there for make sure say we work together and bring development down for the people that we voted before. And time is going. We don't dare at this council. We pass recommendations them. When the chief administrator has his sole responsibility for make sure the recommendations they need, they become a working document. For any recommendation, we not get something with kickback, we not get something with bill, they're not interested into them at all not. Any recommendation, when a recommendation wait for take development, go to councillor's ward. For them approve check for that recommendations they need. For them act on the recommendations they need. That's a difficult one. Up till now, we get a pile of recommendations that we need all. Nothing will be done. Recently, we passed the recommendation as a committee, budget and finance, for make sure say the payment of the street sweeper, the tricycle boys, for pay them because we get the money for pay them. We pass on the council and we vote for her. It was carried. Since that time, I go to this CA office just for ask them and do follow up how far we don't go with this arrangement, for all prepare a check and do payment for the tricycle boys there. They always the Dutch, you know, they're in office, anytime you call and then they pick and call, how we go work with the electorate officers there. How development go move on. You need to respond to text, you need pick and call, you need to sit in an office. Sometimes you go in an office, they lock. When they ask, we come to see, they say see only. Since the time will pass, that particular recommendations be up till now we not see the CA. Just for we ask them say CA, September 9 they don't so. August we not pay the street sweepers there. September now we can go 2 months. And we not go want that protest to be happy. Let you put again. And our people then, we get responsibility for carrying at the homes there and in the streets this week. So this now we don't take an update to our forgive to Freetonians.
Thank you, Councillor. I know we don't hold that long. We don't do 1.5 hours, but we know we'll close without at least we ask if anybody get question. Councillors, I think so let me allow the change them for ask questions then. Okay. And then we will come back to councillors for a roundup. Okay. Can I say people that get things in their mind and I want to give them a chance. But let me just take questions from the house, from the media and the other guests there. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Me and Nabi Kamara come up from Citizen Radio 103.7. My first question here, 1 or 2 months ago, the local government minister proposed a meeting with the mayor and the CA regarding the issues that they go on at the Freetown City Council. So I asked the mayor this afternoon for telling what the outcome of that meeting if it happened. And secondly, I get 3 questions, please. Secondly, inside the mayor's statement, he said the central government devolved money
na the different city councils them across the country. Waiting whose money, how much money will come inside the second and the third quarter, as you mentioned inside your statement. And thirdly, the KC bomb don't become very alarming. And when you come from inside the city, you see plenty dirty, a park na the street. And there was a time people they call now with different radio stations for let the Freetown City Council for relocate that bomb day. If any plans day for let you relocate bomb, we go come on that entrance day. And finally, before I rest the case, I will want use this opportunity for suggest to the Freetown City Council, especially the mayor, the councillors, and the chief administrator, for get a meeting or a press conference with the journalists so that to go ask them questions regarding the progress of the Freetown City Council. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, I'm Mohamed Ismail Kamara, shot networks on the Rapid Hunt Unit TV station. Madam Mayor, I just want to come with a suggestion, like the first statement we be say, somebody want by you, opponent then they talk say before. Then they pay directly at the offices and then development and they occur with no problem. Now they stop dating and they see it when begin for pay in a bank. Now they facing them difficulties and it's not possible back like come with the old system so that we will get this bad name. Because the thing what you see here is the lay people outside and no one know waiting you they facing or not. All waiting they need is now for them you deliver for them. So if any malpractice or try for sabotage you work way you do, I'm afraid anyhow you talk, the lay people they know will try for understand. All waiting they know is you know they deliver for them. So now that's
Mina Karumokova, Deputy Organizing Secretary for the All People's Congress and member of COP. I just think aloud how this whole thing will look like if them people have before this government will succeed, forget the politicians then to themselves and the clerk all in one place, because all of this explanation is so amazing. That's all. I'm still thinking aloud. Because this decentralization policy, I think it was a good fight for put her to rest.
Good afternoon. Mohamed Kamara, Deputy Publicity Secretary and also member of COP. My question, from waiting I hear, they say the man will give 54 million for their go clean the burying ground. I hear they say the fire with witchcraft. But the question I ask, if you have the most of the courage for asking if they also fire the money. You understand? Because for me, not to be in presence, they need to get their pity. So all we tell them for them do, you understand? If I just don't produce the money, you understand? Whilst council will seek interest, you understand, and will let the job be done. And for some other people, they will talk say the mayor and kind of the council at the wrong time. Now lie for me, they kind of this council at the right time. Because now only in kind go able for months and the courage for work the kind of work so to up and then kind of government if you have any kind of fake person. Trust me, we not going to make that particular headway. So for we, all what you want to say on behalf of the people of Freetown and on behalf of the woman them, we just want to encourage you for them continue to stand on your behalf. We just want to encourage you and for them to say, one thing I still be talk as a party, not as a party anymore, but as a consortium, we get the numerical strength for make any call in this country. There is peace in this country right now because now we don't accept the peace. For the governments, they don't want peace. And we conscious of the fact that we are not going to vote them out. We are going to vote them out. Because if we say we rely on the vote, something they will have for say in the league, but they will not rig our votes because we are going to put them out. So we want to encourage the mayor let it continue for stand for the people them, and let it not allow for make them tell in your story, just like how they tell us. So let it make sure say yes, it continue for tell the Freetown story. Thank you very much.
I'm Sandy Fukano, Global Rapid Unit Media Team. This question, they go to the mayor, I worship. The people that working go around for go and collect revenues then at the shops there and houses there. Sometimes, like 2019, and they target special houses there where I want let the mayor, you can't really notice. Like any house where they see that this are APC hosts, substance they will not operate at all. But they can go and take padlocks there and lock them up already. And like nothing on the inside it. Me, I will not witness that, and I will not come to council for come make reports. During the term, the mayor of the don't enter. What they do will be at the reception, it not be allowed me at all for go inside. I take some time, I even frustrated before I accommodate. And I want. Two, the term of is small, we get people over there, they call it look yard. The people like them, they go around at the tongue for go and look yard there. Well, now you can find out, see, they're not there. And the few one they can go, now money they can go after. Whether they go, then they see the yard and dirty, but they know they take action. Then three, houses and then at the top will not get toilet at all, and they plenty. What thing the mayor will do about that? So, and the four about the routine at the street, because like me when they talk, I did at the market area when I Egan Street meeting. The people who they sell at the markets there, like the one who they sell chicken, the one who they sell fish, as they pull them fish there, they panic to them, and so they take that dirty they even at the street. So that don't make the street don't turn like swamp. Where in Kinkan or the soak them to them, the place in Poto, they make cold in a day that you know they feel comfortable. What is the mayor going to do about that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for them questions, and then I go through them in the order in which they asked them. The gentleman waist start. We'll talk about a meeting which was proposed. I'm not aware of that meeting day. I was never informed of any such meeting, and I can assure you no such meeting ever hold. With respect to your question about the devolved funds, so the devolved funds where they come, you get a breakdown. The money they can't now you, and it's up to you now for grab policy. You get money when you go to the hospitals. So we get 2 hospitals on the way. Longley Hospital with Macaulay Street. Then you get DHMT. Then we get the devolved team that way in agriculture. These are all small departments, sports, youth, social service, so that they the bulk of the money they go. Then you get education. These are budgets for staff them way the ministries devolve to council. So that ministry staff will send kind of council for do very specific things and also big something. And then you get what you can call unconditional grants, where in council they get out of that money. And for 2 quarters, when I quarter 2 and quarter 3, when I 6 months, that money they now 569 million we come to council. But overall, for all team, that 2.84 billion. But that 2.84 billion, as I say, it get budgets where they be implemented by staff where devolved from ministries. I'll say you get me. So also money where council can't say we can't use this money and we want to use the money where council gets any sort of influence over where we go say we want to use that for this or for that, then they call the unconditional grant. Where 569 million for 6 months. And I just want to give you a contrast. We cleaning this tricycle money we talk about for 1 month, now 430 million. For 1 month. Just so that you understand. So we really appreciate, like every other council, we appreciate the importance of devolved money, but not so that money day we really take for around the city. The money we take from the city, as many other people don't say, now the revenue we really generate mainly from property rates. Now we take make sure say you host environment clean. Then you also ask about Kisibom and the relocation. So yes, we did on a project with World Bank funding. with the Ministry of Finance and the counterparts for that project day, because it involved more than one council, where we relocate the bomber to Hastings. We don't do work on them for over 3 years, literally from we come, and it don't be significantly delayed because of challenges with identifying a suitable relocation site. Because not for those say yard run can't take. No. You get to meet certain criteria for let it be for let the World Bank then sign off on them. But they don't see land and the process they on, so we go see a relocation. But I want to let you know lost sight of what I say. Even with the bomber side it is so. If you properly managed, we don't go see the doctor come on and run. It's not necessary for that to happen. If you properly manage what you get, then you will see a different experience. And then finally, you point about press conference. Well, the press conference is, if you want for hearing from the FCA, we'll go talk to the CA. I think you've heard people say, I came here to explain the challenges with me as the mayor of the experience. You want for hearing, it's absolutely right and proper. Please go ahead and engage in. But this is the press conference with me call, because people then vote for me and they expect me to work for them. And that takes me very neatly to your point. You know something? One of the problems that we get in this country, now accepting the unacceptable in the name of peace. If we set a target, the concept of transformation requires change. When we come, right, poverty rate, the revenue generation was at 7 billion for a city of 1.2 to 1.5 million. We do the calculations. We set this as a target for increase them 5-fold. And we actually be able to go beyond that, because when we do all the maths, when we capture all the properties, it takes it to 45 billion. You know what we're able to do for Freetonians with 45 billion? So many of the challenges that we experience. So tell me true, what does it matter? For let me do the right thing, or let me do something convenient for a few people? You say for let people then go pay in an office, now go bring peace. No. If you only were getting 7 billion, we get hundreds of schools where you don't get table and chair. People is still not grown. They don't know what's in school then. What does it really matter? What does it matter to you as a Freetonian? I would like to know that. Convenience or development? To me, what does it matter development? So it may be uncomfortable. Change is always uncomfortable. No change doesn't happen easily. But you don't give up. You don't just go with it, with the flow, go with the easy. If you do that, you actually left yourself in a place of no progress. And we want to see progress. So going on then to the ESO and which got any money. I mean, they're on vacation when the whole thing happened, so the chairman of sanitation go say something to whether or not the deputy and so forth. But what I would say is that in administration, when you get somebody with a chief administrator, part of your role is a problem solve. So even if the money stuff which don't be fire and the money already, you still need for say, we get buried grounding. This is not rainy season. People when they go buried and dead, they're not able to work out. What do we do as a short-term solution? How do we solve the problem? I think that to me, now what's really missing. The attitude of we've got to get things done. We need to make sure say the work happens, irrespective of waiting ever now the challenges. Then the person talk about bailiffs targeting political party. I mean, sorry, I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak to that. We know, say now the bailiffs, I don't know, that's part of what's going on now. We don't get any enforcement, but it's also because we look at a system where there's more structure. So you know, we pick and choose. There has to be a structure. Now let us say we will actually engaged with the CJ's office for making sure we do the whole process in a manner we accord with the law. You know, we will bring that kind of transparency. So I'm sorry to say you will get that experience of not being able to access me. You also talk about the sanitary inspectors. You say you want to really look compound. I think I talk for them. I talk say we get them. And I talk say they're not even paid. At toxin assistance, they're not regularized, even though it don't come up as an audit recommendation, as a nurse's recommendation. So I guess we've been shown as say, we get a challenge here, and you just don't confirm with your own experience, say yes indeed, we get a challenge there. Houses with no toilets. Well, that's a very important point. When person they build house, who say you go for building permits? Not for council they can. Now Ministry of Lands. So if Ministry of Lands they give the permit, how council they ensure say you get toilets? How will you know where you build? How will you know say toilets not needed? For doing retrospectively not an efficient process. For them we go like say toilet there, toilet not there, when the toilet not there and land not there for build. Of course we take action. Now one of the enforcement thing the way then people the way we talk about to do for check, but not to say it for B. The toilet inclusion in the house, whether not pump or you're waiting ever, it will be part of the process of building permits. And Victorians they will not hearing me like a broken record. I know we talk about this from 2018. Devolved functions include land use planning and building permits. And the last one, we talk about Hagan Street. I don't know if you've been getting me, so you become a bit late. I started to talk about the fleet management. Say we get 11 vehicles, 11 trucks, and 7 tricycles. One of them trucks a day, supposed for the work in Hagan Street markets. Formation say we clear all that up. Even the engagement, the community engagement with the market them. 10 million, we don't sit down, we don't engage them, we don't say no, let's not put on a ground. Let me do that bag, when you put on the bag, then we can collect the bag. All of these things, you need to be working in an environment in which there is work. But if today, I tell you say of the 11 trucks, now 3 normally operate. The rest they sit in a garage, these two, no urgency. We try for building a fleet management system, no progress. In other words, all waiting for happen, for make the city run, nothing happen. I want to conclude because time not getting in favor. Oh yes, now pass the mic over.
Thank you very much, Worship. I don't listen with great interest to waiting. You don't talk and waiting you councillors and don't talk. And we some side in the way sound very funny, but now the saddest story this we can ever hear. Because from the very beginning we start, I don't follow you program them will be announced to transform Freetown until launching and everything. I thought it was a glorious idea. But we've been done the year say they get to go or whatever, but I'm so happy I can today. Unfortunately for Kanyeri, the details of how ridiculous it is, but how we they joke with people and lives inside this city here. Because once you not take care of sanitation in a city, obviously na death could result from that. So it's very, very interesting. But I want to ask Mayor and councillors, una get a whole, una can do a whole report on the difficulty una get so far. I hope say una the documenter, a very good for una put all na paper and let una put the timelines of all the effort that una they make and waiting at the reaction una they get. Because this country, there are people who are making an effort for make this country go straight. So waiting they happen now soon at the municipality could be a very good story about how good or how evil they felt good. Of how people who want follow the BN, how then they frustrate people and we can for make progress. This is a very good story about it. But I ask for two things them way I don't know if you don't do. I feel say at the stage we don't reach now. I don't know to what extent the international community are aware of all the details there, so of which you they pass. I think it's a good idea for make, because plenty of them and they support you in one way or the other. So you find for let them be aware. Then the final one is, I wonder if when you don't reach the stage here, we don't, you know, get nothing again where you feel safe for do. If you not go formally and meet the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, let you know how one man, one person, a whole city of over 1 million people into this condition, and for let we know whose kind strength, whose side they derive in strength and in power from. I believe that it all reach time now for let me meet the president officially and explain what's in the happen. You know what in do, because time go come where people and therefore give account of waiting that they do. Now so. Now that's the now to wait for. But my own advice is that you go up to the president, let you see, because you don't deal with the minister. You don't see anything. I think they don't reach there now. Officially go to the president. You can go with some of you councillors them as well. But I think it is necessary for the president for no, officially. Because sometimes they might say I'm not yeri. So I feel officially you get for do that. But one thing where I could just finish with, and I'll get for go left now. I don't know how united you are inside the council. Whether now all they talk with one voice, and whether with you they do so, all they think in the same way. Because all them things they can bug. Because when you see some man they behave so tell everyone the way they near yourself, then get away then they unbug you. Because really not to a war between people. Wait till they happen so. Now a war between progress and backwardness. Not to another consider as the mortal man and waiting they call. Some people then feel so complacent and comfortable in backwardness because they personally they enjoy certain things for themselves and that sort of thing. They don't mind if the whole place nasty, then die inside the dirty. Once the business. But then you they come for progress, straightforwardness and everything. It's painful for some people. They're not able. So me not they look just not that personal level there. They look as the fight will all depend. And will all depend. Political parties and all that sort of thing. Where you want to let the country go before, you must get people ready to draw it back. But please listen to that my last advice there. Try see the president and tell him. Then you record with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Bright. I take on board your recommendations, and as a council, myself and the councillors, we go act accordingly. I want to just take the opportunity to thank everybody for making the time for come and listen to this update. Una we day in the room, una we hear on Facebook Live, and una we go hear snippets of them on news channels later today. I will conclude by saying Leone, Freetown, we as Freetonians, we as Leoneans, we all now one family. And waiting really matter, as Mr. Bright said just now, now for let we progress, for let we no longer be the bottom of the pile. Let we not be that place where they say we're third from the bottom of the Human Development Index. Transform Freetown may sound far-fetched to some people then, where we start. But here, and with the book we did to Councillor Hakiratu, is pure evidence of what is achievable. And the state where we see the city, from the perspective of sanitation, where we begin for being a city where people that they call out for say that one can't study what we don't do. That is said, we speak volumes about waiting our potential. So I update you that today because that potential for being fulfilled. That potential for being fulfilled. Enough for being stifled, enough for being derailed, enough for being stopped. Why? Not because of the political party we're in, but because every Freetonian, particularly we under fives, we so much suffer from malaria as a major cause of death. Because we're able to do something. Are they on so many boards and networks and organizations on malaria because of the sanitation work? Because now vector control, now we do so. And it make a difference. So let me not focus on the wrong things. Let me focus on the right things. Freetonians are updating now because there's only so much we can do. And we will need enough for no. Say the landscape, the changing face of the city when I see. Now this is the reason. You know what I mean? Say we give up all, we not give up. We continue for strive, for make sure we overcome these obstacles, no matter how difficult. It's worth it. For we all sake, it's worth it. So we will continue. We will take the advice, we will move forward. But from our own part, when I say pure on part, not in the streets. Pay your property rates, local tax and business license. Thank you. God bless you. Till we meet again.